an educator, I will say the reason that I wanted to be at an HBCU is I kind of earned my teaching stripes at University of Georgia as a graduate TA. And some of the students that I connected with right away with having a sea of predominantly white students were students who were Black and brown. And I noticed that because I noticed them, how much more they showed up. Because I remember being the student that's like the brown face in the sea of white faces. And when I was seen, like at my core, when I was seen and valued and pulled to the side and given extra resources or opportunities, that made me feel like I belonged, even though, I was at a majority um, institution. And so I really started to bond with some of the students. And even for my students that were not from Black descent or from a racial ethnic minority background, when I knew their names and they just felt like they were numbered, because at Georgia, even as a graduate TA, my largest class was by myself was like 110 students. And I had athletes in there, y'all. I had a little bit of everything. Students who needed like extra test time, all in this one class, and it was just me. So I had to grow up really quickly. But when I did, student athletics at Georgia approached me about working with the athletes over the summer as a mentor. And so I think because I was a mentor that looked like those young men, they responded to me a different way. And I could talk to them a certain way that I didn't have to feel like I had to code switch. And code switch basically means, for those of y'all that are like, code switch, what's that? What is code switching? Code switch just means maybe when you're with your family or you're with the people you grew up with, you talk a certain way. In different settings, we kind of and sometimes it's just subconscious how we shift our mannerisms, we shift our body language and our speech and our dialects based on who we're around. And I did not like teaching such large classes. So it's like, okay, well, I want to teach students that see themselves in me. I want to have smaller class sizes. And I didn't want the pressure of being around, like, you have to research, and you better write this grant. And it's like, well, I actually want to have that time to build relationships with students. Like I enjoy that. I don't mind that. Like, they help me learn more about myself. They challenge me with their questions. So I wanted to be in an environment where I felt like, yes, I can do my scholarship, but that I can also pass the torch to the next generation. And many times as an educator, I'll use my nutrition class. We may start off talking about nutrition, and then we have a side conversation on just something that students are really dealing with. So the psychosocial support that I can just like weave into the classroom, and I don't just have to keep it lecture, do this activity, turn in your homework, I think is fulfilling for me.